On the toilet or laid in bed, it doesn't really matter. So long as you're tuned into the best cycling news show on the internet. It's the Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show. Hi, welcome to the Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show. It's Friday edition. Meme review is coming up, but first, I got sent this video from a fan who loves the show. Then he does the road race. Speaking to a Dutch newspaper, in terms of parkour, it's much more like the Amstel Gold Race. I guess. How dare she? That, ladies and gentlemen, is Monica Dew. And all of a sudden, she thinks she can fall asleep during the Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show just because she puts one video out and gets 39,000 views on it. Do you know how hard I have to work for 39,000 views? No, I'm not jealous. But you can whistle if you think you're going to get a link down in the description, Monica. If you want to go and check her video out, go and do some searching on the internet, because there won't be no link here. Let's get on with the news. Liberties. First up, and if I get one more message in the comments down below simply saying Karl Friedrich Hagen, ? No, I'm not having it anymore. For some reason, we need to talk about Karl Friedrich Hagen. So here we go. Karl is a 27-year-old professional cyclist from Norway. He weighs 65 kilos and his height is 1.8 meters. He's 27. He looks about 17. Over on the website procyclingstats.com, his points for speciality are as follows. He scores a 91 for one-day races, a whopping 443 for general classification, 3 for time trialling, and 11 for sprinting. He currently sits in the UCI rankings at 401st. On Pro Cycling Stats has been visited 14,915 times this week. 14,914 of those times have been by you, person who keeps leaving the message. But hopefully that will appease you. Currently sat 6th on GC at La Vuelta, Karl Friedrich Hagen. Alright, before we get into the racing news and we check out everything that happened in La Vuelta as well as the Boels Ladies Tour, let's talk transfer news. And not really a transfer, but an extension on a contract. Ben Swift has signed another 2 years with Team Ineos. That contract is going to take him through to the end of the 2021 season, and he's going to be the ripe old age of 33 when he gets there. Over on the Team Ineos website, he said, "I feel like I've found a renewed enthusiasm and motivation for sport this year. So this new contract feels rewarding for many reasons. I think that's down to team and where they've been riding this year. When you're really happy somewhere and environment at team suits you like it does for me here, it really helps you get very best out of yourself." He also went on to say, "I don't think anybody was expecting me to get back to levels I've achieved this year, so it's usually satisfying. It's been a really pleasing season so far." You've got to say that this is one of the best seasons that Ben Swift's had for a long time. Even with his injury that he sustained at the start of the year, it wasn't looking great for him. It looked like it was going to be another one of those years where he ends up getting injured and he just never kind of fulfills the potential. But no, boom, this year, national champion. And he's going into the Tour of Britain with some good form. He had some great form in the Tour de Suisse. Hopefully he's going to carry the form on through the Tour of Britain and those Yorkshire Worlds. It's been a really targeted process for me all season. Sat down with coach Connor Taylor at start of year and mapped it all out. That relationship has been key and he's really got best out of me this year. We stuck to plan, even when the crash slightly disrupted things. And now we're working towards Tour of Britain at World Championships. Also want to mention my mate, Chris Pritchard. What a lad, what a star. Make sure you subscribe to the channel there is, because it's very good. There you go, kind words from Ben Swift, and hopefully, fingers crossed, he will get through the Tour of Britain unscathed and he will find the form he needs to take Rainbow. I don't want to put any undue pressure on him, but I'll put a fiver on you, mate. Don't let me down. Alright, let's talk racing news now, and yesterday was stage 2 of the Boels Ladies Tour. It rained the majority of this stage, but ultimately still came down to a sprint, and it was the repeat of the first stage. Lorena Weibes ends up taking the win from Kristen Wild, putting her now in the lead of GC. But why are riders hitting speed bumps and raised curbs less than 100 meters from a finish when they are clearly going to be sprinting? Head down, out the saddle, Tell me, please tell me why. And here's the GC. Lorena Weibes is first now. Annemiek van Vleuten in second position, 7 seconds behind. Lucinda Brand still in third position, 8 seconds in arrears, so only 1 second behind Annemiek van Vleuten. Fourth position is Letizia Paternoster. Did pretty well with that name, didn't I? All right, let's move on to La Vuelta, and the big news from yesterday. You all know it already. It's not going to be a spoiler. Phil Gilles took the victory on stage 12. What was refreshing about yesterday's stage, when they went with the live feed on Eurosport, the group was still all together. The peloton was still all together. A breakaway hadn't succeeded throughout the whole of the day. They were down to around 70 kilometers to go before anything actually happened. And Willie Smith kicked it all off, going alone, on his own, going alone. And it wasn't until around the 60 kilometer mark that a breakaway of 19 riders actually got a big enough of a gap to, I guess, to call themselves a breakaway. And then the race was on. The peloton eased back, allowed those 19 riders to go up the road, and it looked like another safe and steady day for Primož Roglič in that red jersey. Again, just like stage 11, a winner was more than likely going to come from that breakaway. And while that breakaway was up the road, one man in there was looking very strong, and as the race went on, he got stronger and stronger. And Phil made his move at 8.8 kilometers to go, grinding out a big gear up the steep climbs. He managed to put some time into the rest of the breakaway, and with around 4.5k to go, he had a 16-second lead on the 2 chasers behind him. Coming into the finish, they had him in their sights. There was around a 5-second gap, but the 2 riders behind realised that they were going to have to fight for second place, as Phil Gilles had just enough distance up the road to secure his 10th Grand Tour win. And in doing so now, I think a lot of people are looking at Phil Gilles thinking he's going to be a good bet for the World Championships. You can never discount someone like Philippe Gilbert. Yes, we're spending a lot of time focusing on these younger riders who are coming through and could dominate for the next couple of years and could potentially take victory at this year's World Championships. But don't forget, this man won Paris-Roubaix this year. And at 37, he's old enough to be Remco Evenepoel's dad as well. I mean, had he been his dad, he probably wouldn't have been a professional cyclist because he'd have been too busy getting a normal job trying to look after this child. But still, to think that there's going to be 2 riders lining up, both potentially capable of winning a World Championship, one at the end of his career, or towards the end of his career, in the twilight of it, and then one just starting out. Crazy. All right, bad news. I was going to do meme review, but I'll review the memes simply by saying there was only one that was funny, really. Meme review gets 1 out of 10 this week. Terrible. Niels, sort your shit out. Alright, and that's your lot for today's short video today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you've not done it already. As ever, if you dislike it for whatever reason, hit that dislike button, leave me a comment and let me know why. Until next week, oosh.